Welcome, Whitecaps fans. I'm here with JJ Adams as we kick off the season. We're going to talk a little bit about the Whitecaps. Where to begin, man? There's so much to talk about, but let's start at the beginning then. Like, this team had a disastrous year last year. New coach, wholesale changes on the field. You can argue that almost none of them worked out. PR disasters left, right, and center. Fans storming out of the games. Have they?
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, I could, but we don't have that long, JJ. But how much have they redeemed themselves? Are they on the right track?
Are they on the right track? I would say yes, they are on the right track. I mean, if you look at last year, I mean, it was the dark ages. It was a depressing time on and off the field. I mean, the results weren't there. The missteps off the field, the fans walking out of games. It was the worst year in franchise history, without a doubt. So they knew they had to make them changes, and hopefully that was sort of the emphasis or the push to get them moving. And I think they have done that. People will talk about Lucas Cavallini being like the big move. I mean, a $6 million striker. They haven't had a signing of his profile ever, and with a proven track record like him. So I think that's a massive step. But I think the biggest moves for this team have come off the field with the hiring of Axel Schuster and Mark Panis, because they are bringing something that was lacking in this organization, in that infrastructure, the infrastructure that they desperately needed to compete with all these big budget clubs around MLS. Like, there's no way they can outspend these clubs, the LAFCs, the Atlanta Uniteds. They're not going to outspend them. They've got to figure out how to do it a different way. And I think the hiring of these two guys is a very positive start. It puts them in the right direction. They're on the right track.
So you talk about that. I mean, obviously you're right. You go out and sign a big player. They've kind of tried to do that in the past. That's always just a Band-Aid. If you don't have the right structure, I'd argue that you will never get to the chance where you're able to compete for championships. So what more work needs to be done there off the field to put the framework in place? It was shocking to me to find out that they really didn't have a scouting network. Like, even in the MLS, where budgets are threadbare and you have teams that don't spend a lot of money on that, and they're kind of, I don't know, they go on FIFA 2020 and see which players
football manager, as Mark DeSantos would say.
To see which player, that's their, using a video game to do their scouting for them. We know that there's teams in the MLS who report this, but these guys seem to be absolutely beyond that, like the worst.
Well, I mean, people were joking that they had spotted a Wikipedia page open in one of their insider videos. It was like, this is where you're getting your player information from, was Wikipedia. It became a joke, but they recognized that was the area that they really needed to bolster and improve on. And so they have hired 3 scouts. They've been planning for a while to get the scouting department up and running. They still haven't done that. So all the signings that have come in to date are as a result of Axel Schuster's networks and Mark's networks. They still don't have that up and running. They have said they want to get that up and running for the next transfer window, at which point they're probably going to have some very big holes on probably the left side to fill. So they have said they're working on that already. They have plans in place, plans A, B, and C. They're looking to fill those holes. So they are trying to be proactive, which is something they haven't done in the past. They've been very reactive.
Okay, so bigger picture, they'll have the structure, we hope. Immediately, what's right in front of them? What's on the field? Cavallini, obviously the biggest name, but do you like the moves that they've made so far?
I think back to this time last year, and I like the moves they made last year. I mean, they brought in John Arise, they brought in Lucas Cavallini, or not Lucas, Last Mangura, they brought in Lucas Venuto.
PC.
PC was always going to be a depth piece with a great nickname. But the guys they had brought in, they had a resume that you thought, hey, maybe these guys could be good. I kind of feel the same way about all the other signings they've made outside of Cavallini. These guys look good, like they could be the missing pieces, but we don't know until we see them on the field. Whether it's Christian Dahome, who's a winger, Christian Gutierrez, a left back, Leonard Owusu from the Israeli Premier League. I mean,
your pronunciations are very good, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Mid-season form.
Thank you. But we don't know what they're going to be like until we actually see them on the field. So it's, I'm optimistic. I think they have recognized their shortcomings in the past and are trying to do things differently.
Okay,
so hopefully this might be a different season.
So let me ask you this. Do they have more work to do? We're now about 5 weeks away from their first game, February 29th. So what else, are you expecting anything else to come in?
Well, I think they're probably going to add another attacking piece in midfield, whether it's on the wing or in the middle. They still need a number 6. John Arise was brought in to fill that role last year, and Inbom Wong ended up filling it for them. And that he can play it there, but he's more effective further up the field as an 8 or a 10. So that is one area that they definitely have to fill. I don't know if they're going to fill it before the season starts. They've said there's still another couple signings coming in, but I don't know if that's going to be the hole they fill. I think they might bring in another right back, and like I said, another attacking piece in midfield.
Now, they have promoted from youth, which was always part of their sort of their mantra, that this is what they wanted to do because they knew they couldn't sign the big superstars. Their academy, to be honest with you, has been kind of a failure to this point. All these names that we heard over the first 10 years of their MLS existence really didn't produce anything coming forward, except for the one exceptional superstar who was so good that he left. We can talk about him at the end. Alphonso Davies absolutely taking Bayern Munich by storm. Had a fantastic development over there. Shows the Whitecaps were, made the right move by letting him go play over there. But in the meantime, I know they've got a couple of guys in there. Is this window dressing, or is there real hope that youth can make a difference for them?
Well, there's hope and there's history. I mean, you look at the history, I think they've signed 22 players to homegrown contracts now with the signings of Patrick Metcalf and Frankie Fraccineri yesterday. But of the 20 before that, I think 10 of them never played an MLS regular season minute. I mean, half those guys never saw the field in an MLS game. And then the guys that they did play, I mean, a lot of those minutes were eaten up by Russell Tybert, who's been here for a decade now, incredibly, and Alphonso Davies. And that's like, between the other 8 players, that's like 4,000 minutes. And I think 800 of those went to Theo Bair last year. So they have not produced money or players from their development pipeline into the first team. It just has not happened. And they haven't sold a lot of these players. I think only 4 of them outside of Alphonso have been transferred to other leagues. And even then, all they've gotten was like a percentage of future transfer fees. So it's not like they're making mega bucks off these players. They're just producing talent that seems to go elsewhere.
Just before we wrap up, just on Davies, obviously I'm a very keen fan of European soccer, follow those leagues very closely. As you suggested with players that come in here, it is so difficult to predict whether they will translate to the league that they're going to play in, that they're coming from. You can have great success in strong, intense leagues in South America, and for a variety of reasons, you won't fit in MLS. I did not see Davies going over and having the impact that he would. He has just shocked me. He looks like not only does he belong at Bayern, but he's going to be like one of their most significant pieces going forward.
Yeah, well, there's talent and then there's opportunity. When he went over there first, he was stuck on the development team. He wasn't getting a lot of first team minutes. He was training with the first team.
Yeah.
And people thought he was going to be a bust. And then there was a big shake-up at Bayern with the coaches moving on. And he got a chance to start, and he has just blossomed. He's shown how far he has come in that short time. So he's kind of done that at every level that he's played at, though. Yeah. He's gone in and he has exceeded expectations, and that's what's happening at Bayern. He looks incredible, just offensively, defensively. He looks solid. He's still raw. There's still some holes in his game, but they're shrinking rapidly. Yeah, it's great to see.
Saw a great highlight this week where he did get nutmegged, but man, recovered speed and made the tackle and got the ball going forward. So great stuff there. We're running out of time here. JJ, we're going to endeavor to do this every Friday. Footy Fridays, I think.
Footy Fridays.
Yeah, we went deep into the marketing brain trust to come up with that tag, but we're going to try and bring you Whitecaps news once a week. JJ will be on the beat all season. So thanks for watching, everyone.